Okay, y'all. Okay. Let me tell y'all, the peaches are back.
And I've been with triplets. I've been with friends. I've been so long. We're doing it again.
I'm Rima, and if you're new to my channel, welcome. You picked the right video because we're gonna get into season 17, episode 1 of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I'm gonna be honest, y'all. I'm really shocked this season. This season is really giving me the older season Atlanta. Mind you, I had stopped watching Real Housewives of Atlanta like a long time ago after that Candy and Phaedra big lie that really changed the whole season.
You would believe and go back and repeat that I would try to drug somebody? You should understand that drugging somebody while they're drinking and taking them home is rape. Y'all accuse me of being a fucking rapist. That is crazy.
Yeah. But this episode on season 17 gave me what I've been waiting for. And now I'm going to go back and watch all the seasons I missed because this episode was exactly, let me tell you, whoever was the casting director for this show, they need a raise. Now let's get into Miss Porsha. One thing I can say is that I am loving Porsha this season. I also love that she did win the house in her divorce because, mind you, in the previous season, we really were supposed to get into Porsha and her divorce. That's what a lot of people wanted to know what happened. And Simon did come in and derail everything. You know, he didn't want her to film in the house. He didn't want anything associated with his house and his business being put out there. And in the end, Porsha did come out a winner. And I really love the fact that she's showing him the house is beautiful. Porsha did introduce this man. He was handsome, named Mike. And I love the fact that she introduced him as a friend. So introducing him as a friend was a really smart idea because if you've been on Instagram, you know that she's very much seeing somebody, and we're gonna get into that too. I also love the fact that Porsha is really dating. People think dating is when like you date one person at a time and you're just exclusively dating one person. No, baby, when you're dating, you're supposed to date around. You're supposed to have fun. And just because you're dating multiple people, that does not mean you're fucking multiple people. And again, remember y'all, remember I said, if you're on Instagram, you can see that Porsha is currently in a very real public relationship with Patrice, aka Sway. And I love this for her. I feel like Real Housewives should have showcased a real like LGBT queer couple a long time ago. Yeah, we had gay men like Dwight who was on the show, you know, Lawrence, Miss J, Derek J. But we needed a real peach holder that was a part of the community. And I love that. Now, if it were up to me, I would have really loved to see, I know it's Real Housewives, but I would love to have seen Real Housewives try to segue like a man as like this first queer couple with, you know, his partner. And we see, just introduce them like maybe like a friend of the show, but then like segue to see how far they can get. I don't know. I feel like it's on brand because it's Atlanta, the black gay capital of the South. Why not? However, I'm loving it. I'm loving this. And I also think that Porsha introduced Mike just as a, you know, little friend, a cute moment. Because in an interview she did say that she is dating a man and a woman.
The people who I'm talking to now, it's just two. I've narrowed it down to two. Okay. Okay? And he is nice and she is nice.
I feel like she was really always dating, you know, Sway, but this was just like to say like, okay, boom, here's the man, but here's me with, this is the woman that I'm with, and I love this for her. I don't know why, I'm just doting on this. I love this so much. Now, please, can we talk about K. Michelle? Oh my God. K. Michelle is perfect. K. Michelle was what the season was missing. If we couldn't get Nene leaked, okay, cool. But K. Michelle was that missing piece for this show. You have no idea. K. Michelle came in there. She had not changed. K. Michelle wasn't in there acting fake and phony.
Bless. ready for a night of fun?
Yeah, I hope they have meatballs.
Okay. Hello.
K. Michelle blended it so well, and her personality was so strong, and I love that. K. Michelle did not come in there trying to act like someone she wasn't. She was still her down-to-earth true self, and she still gave no fucks, and I loved it. Still while serving classy. She missed the dress code, but she is perfect for this show. She's gonna be my favorite cast member on this show. K. Michelle making the jump from loving hip-hop to Real Housewives of Atlanta, I have to literally give her a round of applause for that, because I love the fact that that's a big fuck you to Rashida. If you watch Love and Hip Hop, you've seen how K. Michelle came out and said that she was dealing with abuse from meth hits. Rashida thought it was a lie because her friend at the time, Toya, was married to meth hits, and then came to find out he was treating Toya bad. And you know, that really hurt K. Michelle. It really did. Look at Rashida. Even with all of Rashida's success, like with her store, and you know, still being on Love and Hip Hop for fucking forever, which Rashida should have been gone a long time ago. And I really think that's why the franchise sucked the way it did, because nobody wanted to see Rashida forgiving Kurt cheating ass. It was getting old. But K. Michelle now being on Real Housewives of Atlanta is like a big fuck you, because K. Michelle is now up here with the TV franchise. You're on Bravo, babe. And now Rashida's just... And I feel like Cardi B and K. Michelle were the two people that seen the biggest success come from the Love and Hip Hop franchise. Porsha introduces K. Michelle, you know, during a photo shoot. And I love the fact that Bravo had Porsha introduce K. Michelle, because I felt like I didn't want it to be where you have Porsha, who is really like the ultimate Real Housewives right now, and then you have K. Michelle being introduced by somebody else. I didn't want it to be like a clash. K. Michelle and Porsha are two big powerhouses, and I love the fact that they introduced them as friends. Also, people are saying that K. Michelle and Porsha look alike. I don't see it. K. Michelle talks about how she was a little nervous, you know, when it came to meeting the women of the cast, because she said, you know, she's been in Atlanta before. She's dealt with a lot of mean girls. She's had these ladies from the past blackballed her, you know, ruined her reputation as her being difficult, mean, hard to work with. And I love the fact, again, I keep saying this, that this is K. Michelle's redemption. This is her big fuck you to all those women who really tried to play her. Now let's get into the messy part, because I know y'all not gonna let me end this video without getting to the tea. So Shamea shows up very late. I have really complicated feelings about Shamea, because you remember how I said I missed a lot of seasons, and I just seen like how Shamea and Porsha's friendship just deteriorated, you know, on social media. And I really feel some type of way, because I really wanted whatever that they were going through, which I will find out once I get caught up with the seasons. I really wanted them to work out their friendship. Mind you, these women have been friends for decades. Their mothers have also been friends for decades. However, if the friendship no longer serves you, it doesn't matter how long, you know, you've been in that friendship, you gotta do what you gotta do. And it's crazy that their moms, you know, currently have beef too, because it's like, damn, this is not like, when you really think about it, it's not like a friendship breakup. This is like a family divorce. Now, the part where they're all sitting down in what seems to be like the living room, and you know, someone brings up Porsha and Shamea's friendship, and I love the fact that Porsha shut it down. And I believe it's when Drew brought up the whole Shamea's apology, you know, video, which I'm like, why the fuck are you talking about that? I love the fact that, and this is why I say Porsha really anchored herself in this season as the ultimate housewife, because she literally shut it down and say, hey, that conversation is between Shamea and I. We have worked through that, and that will stay between Shamea and I. And as far as you, because she was addressing somebody else, as far as you, we will address that, but I'm not going to do it right here. And I love that. I love the fact that she did that, because normally Porsha was gonna pop it off, but I love the fact that she was very classy with it. I love the fact that she didn't rehash and bring up what was already discussed between her and Shamea, because it's nobody's fucking business. Drew felt some type of way about Shamea's apology video. She felt like it was just full of shots thrown at her. It wasn't real, but also, why the fuck is Drew? First of all, I think Drew Sidora is, if she's not the B, she's the L. That's just my opinion. And the fact that she didn't physically bring somebody to the Mystic Island event, but she has this guy that's basically like on FaceTime the whole time, and he's just sitting there the whole time. And Phaedra and everybody was just like kikiing about it, because they're like, damn, he's been on the phone for 3 hours straight. He didn't get up to use the bathroom. He didn't do nothing. He's just smiling like, you know, is he okay? I was just like, girl, you were better off just coming with nobody or bring that guy than to have him sit on the phone for 3 hours. And her asking at the table, where is Gerald? First of all, bitch, why are you asking about my motherfucking husband? Because while you're worried about my husband, where is your husband? Is Ralph still in the basement? Where is the man that you on FaceTime with? Why is he not here with you? So the rest of the cast, you know, check in, and we get introduced to Pinky Cole, who is the creator of Slutty Vegan, which is a very popular vegan restaurant here in Atlanta. She has different locations. Pinky Cole has had a rough couple years because she filed for bankruptcy. She lost her business and she got the business back. And no matter what kind of financial issues Pinky Cole has been in, and even to this day, and when I say to this day, I'm recording this video on Wednesday, April 8th. People are saying that she is a Trump supporter. They call her in the likes, liking Trump stuff and following Trump and his family on Instagram. And let me tell you, I haven't even gotten to that yet. But one thing I can say is that Pinky Cole, not saying she not up, but when she was up in Atlanta, Pinky Cole was really helping her people. I remember she did like a special. She was on the radio, and she was offering young people, especially specifically like young black people, she was paying for their LLCs if they wanted to start a business. She was taking care of all the fees. I remember when she was looking for an assistant, and my ex-best friend at the time interviewed to be her assistant, and she was saying like Pinky Cole is such a cool person, and she like gave so many opportunities to young people. So to me, she gave back to the community. So I ain't got nothing bad to say about Pinky Cole. We also are introduced to her husband, Big Dave, who's also a restaurant owner of Big Dave Cheesesteaks. Lord, maybe because I want me a cheesecake. And I want me a cheesesteak. But yeah, he is a very, very serious businessman. He seems really nice. We're not really hearing much from him now, but eventually I feel like we will. So as we're introduced to Pinky Cole, Kelly decides that, oh, Pinky's not a girl's girl. And I think it's because Kelly was like, oh, you know, you left me on red in a DM. Her feelings were really hurt by that, but we'll find out later like what the issue is. It was really good to see Phaedra on this season. Really good. Phaedra is same old Phaedra with her shady ways. She introduces someone as well. I guess this is like a friend. And you know, one thing I love about Phaedra this season that we want to see with her storyline is that I love the fact that when we see her on the show, when we're introduced, we see her children. We see Dylan. He's all grown up, and I love that. He's driving her, and they asked her, you know, will he be chauffeuring you around? And she says, oh no, he drives. She says something like, oh no, he drives his dad around. You know, I'm not a drunk. And I'm like, shady Phaedra, shady Phaedra. But it's good to see her children. They're all grown up, because mind you, we saw them in the belly. Both her pregnancies were featured on Real Housewives. I'm over here laughing because I'm thinking about that time when they asked her when she was due, and she said, I don't know, child, this baby about to come out now. And seeing like her kid, you know, go to school, and how, you know, her kids were growing up. So it's good to see that they are grown up to be very distinguished, respectable, intelligent young men. But it's Phaedra Parks, girl. What did y'all expect? We knew them kids was going to turn out amazing. I don't know about y'all, but I'm very excited to see what season 17 is going to bring. And again, remember I told y'all I had stopped watching the show for a long time because, again, after that Candy and Phaedra, who said that scandal, I feel like, you know, it really put a bad taste in everybody's mouth, and it really damaged the franchise. And they tried to replace, but Nene, Phaedra, were really essential to the show. And not only just that, you know, with the whole lawsuit that Nene, like, it just really messed it up. And no matter how many times Bravo tried to get it right, they just could not get it right. So I'm so glad that now adding K Michelle was exactly what the season needed. And I'm so glad for that. You know, I'm back. I'm locked in. And I love the fact that Porsha's running the show. K Michelle was the best addition they could put for the show. And this show is, I think season 17 is really going to be the one that puts Real Housewives back at the top over Potomac. They're really going to give the Potomac girls a run for their money with season 17. I will be recapping every single episode for this season. I'm thinking about also going live on my TikTok page as well. So don't forget to make sure you subscribe to my channel. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Even if you don't subscribe, why? Give it a thumbs up. It just lets YouTube know that, you know, you like the video, and it pushes this video further to more Real Housewives of Atlanta people who want to know about this show. And I just want to know, like, I'm doing good on time. Like, let me know in the comments, like, are you now back watching the show? Did you watch the show? What were you, like, what were your thoughts? Are you like, I don't know about season 17, or you're like me, locked and loaded? Who do you think is going to be your least favorite housewife and your best housewife this season? I want to talk about it. I love y'all. I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.